Hello everyone, I am Melanie Youngsman with the Lansing Journal, standing here with Josh Bootsma, our managing editor, and congratulations Josh. Josh got one of our biggest interviews of the year.
I have interviewed a lot of great people for the Lansing Journal, Melanie, but this is going to be a career-defining moment for me, I have a feeling, as we have, inside the Santa house behind us, an opportunity to interview Santa and Mrs. Claus.
In person.
In person, here in Lansing. Just amazing. I'm so excited for it.
It doesn't get better than this.
It doesn't. You're going to have a window into what happens in Mr. and Mrs. Claus's everyday life, what happens at Christmas Eve. We know you're watching this on Christmas Eve, so we hope you enjoy this. We're going to go and take a knock on the door. All right, check it out. So, I'm here with Santa and Mrs. Claus. I was just saying, this is essentially a hallmark career moment for me, to interview Santa and Mrs. Claus. Thank you for taking some time to be here in Lansing, first of all, in the Santa house, and for talking with me today.
You're very welcome.
You're welcome.
Now, before we start, I have to say, Santa, do you prefer Santa or Saint Nick?
Santa.
Santa's okay.
Santa Claus.
All right.
Yeah, Santa is good.
Good. I want to make sure I get that right. Now, you're here in Lansing today. Why do you choose to spend some of this busy season, for both of you, why do you choose to spend some of it here in Lansing?
Well, I'd like to try to visit as many children as I can at this time, but it's hard to do everybody. So Lansing, we've always come to. So I like to try to just come back to Lansing and see the children here and visit with them.
That's great. And both of you are here together, which is very cool. You could both take time out of your busy schedule to be here together.
Absolutely, we do. We do everything together.
Yes. Also back at the North Pole, taking care of things up there and give us the time to come down here and visit for a little while. But, you know, our visits are always short because there's so much to do at this time of the year.
That's right. That's right. And we've been here watching kids come in and tell you what they want for Christmas, and they're always fun interactions that you're having with the kids. What is it nowadays? I mean, we know the Christmas movie, classic Christmas movies, I want a BB gun, oh, you shoot your eye out, whatever. What is it that kids are asking for Christmas nowadays?
This year it's been a lot of LOL dolls.
Yes.
Really?
Legos.
Yes.
Legos, Barbies are still big. Racing cars. You know, a lot of the older toys, you know, people still want.
And the elves have no problem with that stuff,
Nope.
right?
None whatsoever.
Not at all.
Good. I'm not surprised by that at all.
Yeah. How old are you? You're 5. Have you been good this year? Yes. And what would you like for Christmas?
A Barbie doll hamper.
Okay. What else would you like?
Even the Minnie Mouse doll only talk. They walk.
Okay.
I thought she had a letter for Santa.
Oh, you got
A picture, I mean.
Oh,
Nice.
did you draw that?
By myself.
By yourself. Well, Santa loves it. Santa's gonna put it on his refrigerator at the North Pole, okay?
I didn't know you had a refrigerator.
I do.
You know what type of cookies I'm making?
What are you gonna make?
Crowns
Yeah,
and little toys.
that sounds very good. Santa can't wait.
It'll be chocolate cookies.
All right, well, Santa.
It'll be your favorite.
Oh, that's my favorite.
I already know your favorite.
Yes, you do.
Everything about Santa.
What are some of the weirdest Christmas gift requests that y'all have received? Do you recall?
Yes, a lot of people want live animals.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
It's hard for Santa to do that. One, it's too much for them to be on the sleigh. Rudolph does not like it at all.
okay.
He will not go.
And
Skittish,
live
yeah.
animals are tough. So Santa always makes sure that, you know, the little children know that live animals can't be done. But and they always seem to come up with other things, you know. But yeah, it's animals seem to be the biggest, craziest thing that people ask for.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Good. All right, so here's a fun question for both of you. What is each of your, Mrs. Claus and Santa Claus, your favorite Christmas song? You have a favorite one? I'm sure you love all of them.
I do. I love Frosty.
Frosty the Snowman.
That's my favorite.
Is there a reason that's your favorite? Do you have any relationship with
Yes,
Frosty?
we have Frosty at the North Pole.
Do you really?
We sure
Okay.
do, and he visits quite often.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so he knocks at our door quite often.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Santa's is away in the manger.
Okay.
Santa just loves that song. It just reminds me so much of so many different things, you know. The spirit of Christmas, Jesus, and that's Santa's favorite.
Good. So this next question is for both of you, although especially for you, Santa. I'd like to know your favorite type of cookie. Santa, you're in the business of eating cookies a little bit, coming down chimneys, seeing a plate of cookies. Which one is your favorite, Mrs. Claus? I'd love to hear you as well.
Oh, Santa has tasted so many different kinds of cookies over the years. But Santa's ultimate favorite is a chocolate chip.
Okay. Very classic.
Very simple, but
Easy.
chocolate chip is definitely ranks right up there for Santa.
Excellent. Nice.
And mine are the sugar cookies
The sugar cookies.
with all the frosting and the decorations.
Okay.
Those are good too.
Now, Santa, I imagine you're a whole milk guy. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I figured.
Yes,
I
definitely.
figured the word skim isn't really in your vocabulary.
No.
Okay. Okay.
Whole milk is definitely Santa.
All right. So our viewers are seeing this on Christmas Eve morning. Where are you at in your process as Christmas Eve starts? Both of you. Are you getting prepared? What are you doing to get prepared for the day?
Santa's out in the workshop making sure that all last-minute details on the gifts for all the children have been completed.
Checking it twice?
Checking it twice.
Right.
I'm still looking at my naughty or nice list,
Okay.
making sure that we have all bases covered. Mrs. Claus is in the house getting stuff ready for the reindeer for the trip.
Okay.
Santa
Yep.
for the trip.
Yep.
Santa's making sure that the reindeer are well and everybody's doing good. And it's just checking the workshop to make sure that every boy and girl gets something for Christmas.
Very good. Mrs. Claus, preparing the reindeer, is there a certain food that the reindeer especially enjoy?
They like carrots,
Carrots.
which they get plenty of carrots when Santa takes them.
Okay.
But we have to always have extra in a little bag.
Sure.
So they, just in case. But that's their favorite.
Okay, carrots. All right, so Christmas Eve comes. I'm walking through the day with you. Christmas Eve comes. Before we get to what Santa's doing, Mrs. Claus, what do you do on Christmas Eve when Santa's gone and he's out delivering
You
gifts?
really want to know?
I do. I really want to know.
I have the most beautiful red lazy boy. And I just sit in that lazy boy
Okay.
and I get my sweater on and I put my feet up and I sit there and I just relax.
Wow, with a mug not unlike this one, perhaps? And
Probably with a nice cup of hot cocoa. Yep,
That's great.
it.
now, Santa, you're in the sleigh. You're delivering gifts. When you get to Lansing, Lansing has an airport. Do you have to be especially careful when you're up in the air with any planes or anything?
You do,
Yeah.
but as Santa gets close to towns with airports, I am in direct communication with them.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah, and then they can also see Rudolph's nose.
Oh, of course.
So they know when I'm getting close. Santa is very, very safe in the air as well as everybody else. So
Good, good. And I'm not asking you to give away any of your trade secrets because I have the utmost respect for both of you. How do you get everywhere in one night? Have you been asked that question before? I'm sure you have.
that is a question that Santa gets asked all the time.
So let's set the record straight here. What's your answer?
That is hard for Santa to answer. It's different times all over the world. It's different times in different parts of the world. Santa just has a plan where to go first, and it just kind of always falls where I get everybody done in one night.
I'm sure it's a stressful night.
It
You're
is
working very
stressful.
hard.
So I can't give you the full details. I don't
course.
want to spoil for anybody.
Of course.
But Santa does have a really good plan, and it always has worked for me over the years. So Santa will keep on doing that. So I make sure that everybody gets something for Christmas.
That's great. All right, now Christmas Eve is done, and you finished your job. You two are iconic, and you're a little bit more than human, but everyone needs a vacation. So where do Santa and Mrs. Claus like to go for vacation?
Santa and Mrs. Claus go on a couple vacations a year. We don't like to disclose because we don't want to,
Of course.
draw attention to us. Although we do look a little different in June as we do in December.
Sure.
But there are some islands that Santa and Mrs. Claus go to that we just relax for a couple of weeks here and there. But the work at the North Pole is never done. So we don't take too long of a break. We go for a little while and then we come back. But we do go to some islands and just kind of relax and enjoy the scenes and
And then we start on next year's projects.
Yeah,
starts like
When
in
we come
October.
back, yeah.
it does, I'm
Like
sure.
right
'cause
around Halloween it starts.
so many gifts, so much planning, like you said, is to go
Yes,
into
Yes,
it.
absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
So when you see people decorating for Christmas in like October, you're like, that's perfectly reasonable because that's about the time that you're starting to.
Santa's okay with it.
Yeah, I figured. Now we're here in the Santa house, which is owned by the Village of Lansing. It's decorated beautifully and it has your name on it. It's built for
Yes.
you two. So how does that make you feel that the Village of Lansing built this for you to come here and talk to kids?
I think it is wonderful. It was such a surprise when they said that they were going to build us a new house. And watching it be built was just fabulous. And we thank them every year when we're here that we have this beautiful place to come to for the kids.
This is one of the reasons why Santa likes to come back to Lansing, because Lansing did this for me and Mrs. Claus. It gives the community somewhere to take their children on the Christmas season to see me and Mrs. Claus. And we are welcome to everybody come see us. So thank you for the town of Lansing for giving the house for me and Mrs. Claus to be able to do this each and every year.
And we have beautiful Fox Point with the trees.
Yes,
It's
that's right.
just, it's amazing. It's a home away from home.
It's a special place for Santa and Mrs.
Yes,
Claus.
absolutely.
Now, our viewers are seeing this on Christmas Eve day, perhaps throughout the day on Christmas Eve. What can you say to the boys and girls looking forward to Christmas morning? You have a special message for them?
Santa wishes you all a very Merry Christmas and a joyful, happy New Year.
Absolutely.
God bless. Be safe. And Santa looks forward to seeing you next year. Merry Christmas,
Merry
everybody.
Christmas, everyone.
Mr. and Mrs. Claus here at the Santa House in Lansing. Thank you both so much for your time during this very busy season.
You're very welcome.
You're very
and thank
welcome.
you for
Thinking of us.
with us and thinking of us.
Absolutely. Have a safe flight back to the North Pole.
Thank you very much, Josh.
All right.
Yes.
We'll see you next week.